Come on in, tune in. We're gonna get started once everybody is here and hanging out. Hello, we just started. We have a really exciting talk planned for today. My name's Anisha. If you're just joining, comment below, say hi. Hi, Jemma. We're still waiting for some friends to join. Amazing. Hello. Hi, guys. Welcome, welcome. It's gonna be such a fun hangout sesh. Drop a comment, say hi. My name's Anisha. This is gonna be awesome. Hey, everyone. We're gonna get started in just a minute. I just wanna give everyone a chance to pop in. Now, this is our first week. We're starting a brand new feature. We're doing expert talks, okay? So each week, we're gonna bring someone in, an expert from a different niche, okay? And they're gonna share tips, tricks, experiences with us. And yeah, now we'll get to discuss some important topics, some challenges, and really get down and learn some new things. Hello, hello, hi. Oh my gosh, how is everybody doing today? It is a very gloomy day here in Toronto, where I am. We're all spread out all over the world. Comment below, where are you from? It randomly snowed today. I don't know why. Don't ask me. It just did. So that's what we're dealing with today. So I'm excited to get warmed up with some nice feel-good chats about baby sleep, you guys. Baby sleep, how exciting is that? Oh my gosh, I can imagine that's a really tough one. Now for me, I'm not a mom, so these chats are really exciting because I'm gonna get to learn some stuff because I'm a total noob when it comes to babies, and I'm really excited. So my friends are having kids. I wanna be a really good auntie. My brother's having a baby soon. So this is going to be really exciting for me. If you are tuning in on Instagram, Facebook, wherever you're at, make sure you follow, okay? Hit subscribe. Make sure you stay tuned because we've got new people every single week, okay? New topics, new challenges. We're going to surprise you every week. You're going to be ultimate, knowledgeable encyclopedias by the end of this. Alrighty, everybody. Okay, guys, so we're gonna get started, because why not? My name's Anisha, and I'm gonna be your host for all these talks. I'm an actor, dancer, singer, host, everything from Toronto. I love babies because my friends all have beautiful babies, but I'm I'd like to think that I'm the fun aunt. Hello from Poland, hello. So I want to know a little bit more how I can be a better friend and a better ally to some of my beautiful mom friends who work so hard. So I'm excited. Today, we have a very special guest. This mom is a mom of two, okay, a holistic sleep coach, and the author of the DNA Sleep Program. I'm so excited to bring her up. Let's bring her on. God, introduce you to the amazing, the lovely Miss Jemma Munford. Hello, Jemma. We're gonna get her up on the screen because she's gonna share the insight, not me. Hi.
Hello, hello.
How's it going? Can you hear me okay? Sounds are all right.
Yeah, I'm just gonna adjust the angle of my camera.
Oh my gosh, angle is so important, right?
No angle's good right now.
Oh,
I've still got the baby weight.
Oh my gosh, as if I can't. Moms are so hardcore. You know, the one thing I'm always surprised about is how solid mom biceps are from holding babies.
Yeah.
Holy crap. The original jacked. That is mom jacked.
One more than my right one as well.
Oh, really?
Of course. I carry the baby in the left arm.
Right, because then you're doing everything with your right. That's so smart. I didn't even think of that. Wow. Oh my gosh. Do your arms ever get tired?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're tired anyway. Let's face it. You're tired through your pregnancy. You're tired because you had a baby and you gave birth. However your baby came out, whether you had a cesarean or whether you had they came out, which way. You're absolutely exhausted. And then Mother Nature's pretty cruel. She gives you this little human to look after that doesn't let you sleep to recover. And I'm pretty sure it takes a good couple of years for you to start really getting on top of that feeling a bit more like your normal self.
Yeah,
and not feeling so
My dad always joked
Yeah,
that he was tired for 18 years.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I've got 2 children, and my eldest has just turned 4.
Wow.
And I'm still tired. Yeah.
I'm not surprised. I will say my mom
It's just
told me,
it's just a different tired.
yeah,
Sorry,
I hear that. I was going to say my mom told me that it got easier with the second one. Do you find that? Could they play?
Not with mine 2. Gosh, no. So actually, and my first son, I've got a son and a daughter. I've got Max, who's 4, and Holly, who's nearly 2. So she's 2 at the end of June. And when I had Max is the reason I'm a sleep coach. Okay?
Really?
So I might tell you a little bit about.
Please do.
So I really struggled with sleep when I first had my son. I was prepared for being tired, I fully expected that I would be tired to have a little baby and all the rest of it, but I really did not expect just how tired I was. It's another level. You're physically exhausted, like I was just saying. And it is relentless when you have a new baby. It's really, really full on. And it's just an entirely different experience to how I expected. Right. He had colic, he had silent reflux, and he was a baby that cried a lot, and it was really quite tough. And kind of 6 months in, I'd not had a wink of sleep for that amount of time, and the end of my pregnancy. And I was just really, really struggling mentally as well. Yeah. So I ended up just reading about baby sleep, how it works, how all the biology side of it works, and trying to find ways that that you could just make things better, make yourself feel better. And that sort of set me on this path to becoming a sleep coach. So I did a really in-depth qualification with some of the world's best well-known sleep coaches, sleep experts. Wow. And here we are today. Yes. So I've helped hundreds of families with making gentle improvements to sleep. And it's really rewarding.
I bet.
But I've lived it,
Yeah, I can imagine that's something helping a mom who's just purple eyes, so tired, just wants a little bit of sleep. I can only imagine. I've seen my friends exhausted on the couch. I've watched my friends fall asleep standing up. Like, it's crazy. So I think it's amazing what you're doing. Wow. How lucky are we to get to talk with literally the expert on baby sleep? So if anybody here right now has a not so sleepy baby, we've got you covered. Jemma, I'm so excited to have you here today. Are you okay if I start picking your brain? Yes. Okay, let's do it. I just want to go in with a really simple question. Why do babies have bad sleeps? What's the cause? Why does that happen?
Yeah, and that's, it's a really interesting question. And what's really interesting is the way we ask this question, okay? So I'm going to flip it around a little bit. So why do babies have bad sleep? If I'm going to be really honest, babies don't have bad sleep generally. We have bad sleep because of babies, okay? Normally what goes on with our little babies is absolutely biologically normal. Babies don't sleep for long periods of time, and there's loads of reasons behind that. In the early days, they need to feed a lot. They've got tiny little tummies. The tummies when they're born are like this big. Oh. So to sustain the growth that they go through, they need to feed a lot, and if they slept a lot, then they wouldn't grow. So they need to feed really frequently, which is what happens in the earlier days. It's also thought to be protective against SID, so sudden infant death syndrome, that if babies don't go into big long periods of deep sleep, that's thought to be protective, to make sure that nothing happens whilst they're asleep. So there are other reasons, safety reasons, why our bodies make us sleep in short periods when we're very tiny. And there's also loads of stuff going on in the brain. So we're going through huge amounts of change. So what I love the science of all this. I find it so interesting. Babies' brains are only about 30% the size of an adult's brain. And the majority of the brain development and all the important connections and things happen in the first 2 years of life.
No way, really?
So this is...
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's right. The first 1,001 days of our life.
2 years, isn't it?
It is. And all these changes, everything that's going on in that first 2 years means that there are quite a few, what you'll know as sleep regressions. So times where sleep might go a bit out of the window for a while. So, and it's all to do with what happens in our brain when we're going through these developments and we're learning new skills. So learning how to crawl, walk, talk, even things like pulling the hand to the mouth, you know, lots of these things that these babies are learning.
Right.
During that time, our brains need to do a certain type of sleep called REM sleep.
Right.
It's called rapid eye movement sleep. And this type of sleep processes what we've learned in the daytime into memory in our brains. And what happens during in that type of sleep is we're really easily disturbed. So often what happens is babies just are very restless during that time. So often the sleep will...
There we are. We're still there. Sorry. I lost you at babies were restless. So often in their sleep, they just lost for a quick sec.
Yeah, just an interesting bit.
You just passed out there for a quick sec. Quick nap.
No. It's all about the cliffhangers, isn't it?
Actually.
This is what you get when we're crossing the international borders chatting about sleep. I'm Esther in the UK, so
that is just
we're not
I think we're doing pretty good. Technology's working okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just saying that in that type of REM sleep, the babies are really easily disturbed. Right. So it sort of makes sense that when they're learning lots of new skills, the brain is processing them, that they're more wakeful. Okay, right. So all these things are really normal. They're very biologically normal and not really anything to be concerned about. So when we say, why do babies sleep bad? They're not sleeping badly. They're just sleeping as human babies should sleep. But the thing is, we find it so hard. And back in the days that, you know, we lived in caves and all the rest of it before modern life, that wouldn't matter because we would just sleep when the baby sleeps. Yeah. We wouldn't have jobs to do. Yes. We wouldn't have hobbies and social lives that we're trying to keep.
Yeah.
All those other pressures, you know, that piles onto mums who are trying to, you know, maintain. We're told we can have everything, aren't we, as women? We're told we can have it all. But actually, in reality, when we've got a little baby, it's not really that easy to have everything and do everything.
Absolutely not.
But it adds pressure onto us. So what we see, it's changed from being perceived as normal baby sleep and us managing that to something's wrong because they don't sleep like an adult does. And actually, lots of it is very normal.
Right. How interesting is that? My initial question is, why aren't babies getting good sleep when in reality, I would have never assumed that is actually just how it's supposed to happen. So what I'm wondering now is, I look at, let's say I'll use two of my friends for an example. I won't put any of their names because they could be watching and I will not out them. So let's say one of my friends had a baby who was apparently just an angel, slept through the night, no problem. And then my other lovely friend who is a professional dancer was performing and living her best life and trying to work and had a baby who just would not sleep. And we wondered if it was from, you know, dancer, pregnancy, very active. And then I had my other friend who was more mom and at home and kind of a little bit more chill during her pregnancy. So we started questioning the differences between the two. And unfortunately, it was one sleeps bad and one sleeps good. But I wonder, is that really the truth? Because at the end of the day, just because this baby is sleeping for, say, 6-7 hours straight, does that mean that they're doing better than this baby? Or what does that mean necessarily?
All babies are different. And I fell into this trap when I first had children, that in my head, they all did the same thing. You know, at 3 months, they would sleep through the night, or at 6 months, they would sleep through the night. And once I've had one child, my second child would do the same, and we'd just do the same routine and all the rest of it, and everything would just happen the same.
Because life is perfect.
It doesn't. Well, if only. I mean, if only. Yeah, I mean, you just get the recipe and then that's fine. It all works out. But no, you're different. I'm different. Me and my husband are different. His sleep needs are different to my sleep needs. Right. I like a lion. I like to go to bed at 10 and get up at 7. He could quite happily go to bed at midnight and get up at 6 and not be grumpy. I am the opposite. Right. Okay. Yeah. So babies are exactly the same. Some babies are really settled and really calm and will fall asleep by themselves without loads of support. Some babies are not.
Yeah.
You know, some babies need lots of intervention. Some babies don't need as much sleep. And it's really very much about understanding what your child needs and trying to go with that rather than looking at the sleep plans online that you can find the schedules and trying to make them fit a schedule, because it is really, really stressful to try and make them fit a mold that doesn't fit them.
Sure.
So yeah, I mean, babies are completely different, and temperament and your personality starts in the womb. So that is inbuilt into you and can't be changed. So it's worth remembering that they are all different, and it will get better. Sleep will always get better, and you can always do things to try and help out. So hopefully we'll talk about some of those things today that might help.
We'll get some tips for sure. That's actually really interesting, because I think as moms, by comparing your baby's sleep, in a weird way, it's almost comparing your mom skills. And it's just not the truth, because it's such a stupid little like, oh, this mom is doing it right and this mom's not. No, you're a mom, you're taking care of a kid, you're doing the best you damn can. I mean, do what you can, you know? So I find it interesting, even with the reasonings of, was it because of my pregnancy was like this, or was it because my pregnancy was like this? But really what you're saying is just, babies are just humans, they're different and they're unique and they need different things. I love that.
Absolutely. And that's, as a sleep coach, I don't ever provide my clients with a routine that's the same for everybody. And if you buy my sleep programs, there is no routine in there. And people go, what do you mean there's no routine, there's no timetable? I know from experience. When I was starting out, I bought loads of guides that said, get your baby up at 6, they'll have a 2-hour nap at lunchtime, and then this will happen. That didn't happen for my children. And I thought I was doing something wrong, and I thought my babies were broken when they didn't follow that. Right. So it's really worth finding out what works for your little one. So chuck those guides out, unless they're working, chuck those guides out, throw them out, and just try and figure it out what works for your baby, and your children will be different as well.
I love that. Oh, we may have just lost you again for a quick second. She'll be back. There she is. Well, that's all so lovely. I think that's just a good reminder for all of us, moms and not moms. You know, you're doing what you can, and everybody's unique, and everybody needs different things. And it's not about who you are as a mom. It's just about what your baby wants at that moment. I love that. That's really beautiful.
Of course, and you and I say this to all my clients: nobody can make somebody sleep if they're not ready to.
Think of us, that is just when you can't sleep and you're just like, I'm not going to sleep right now. Yeah, I guess, yeah, it makes sense. I mean, baby would have the exact same experience. Absolutely not. I would not sleep. Yeah. Oh, that's too funny. Exactly. Well, then let's get to I'm sure everybody wants the answer to this. Best thing to do when your baby starts bawling their little eyes out. What do you do?
Yeah, so, and I'm, again, speaking from experience, because my son cried a lot. He had tongue tie, so we had loads of problems starting to feed when he was really tiny. We had colic, which is where essentially they just cry for hours. Right. And you could set your watch by him from 3 o'clock in the afternoon, he would start crying until 11 o'clock at night, and it was just every single day for weeks. It was really stressful. Wow. So part of the thing
we have some questions in the chat, guys. Keep putting your questions down, and we'll get to all of them. But I'm gonna let Jemma finish up what you were saying, please.
I was saying about crying. Yeah. So it's important to remember that children can only communicate by crying. They'll cry because they're bored, they might cry because they're hungry, they might be in pain, discomfort, but sometimes babies just cry. It's just a release. So it's really worth checking out the Purple Crying website. It's a really good resource if you've got a baby that cries a lot. And it kind of explains.
Oh, we're just losing you again there. Hang on. Sorry, we've just got a little internet issue. Do you want to say that one more time for me?
All right.
Which website should everyone visit for a little bit of resource?
So let me just.
Yeah, If you want to
yeah, it's a
comment
really
in the
good.
chat, you do. That's amazing. Yeah, we'll put this
Let me
in
see.
the chat for you.
Yeah, it's purplecrying.info.
Purplecrying.info. All right.
Yeah.
Check it out, everybody, if you need some helpful hints. That's thing. We do have
yeah, that's a really great website. Explains that.
Amazing. Yeah, I'm assuming like it must be hard to pinpoint the exact reasons for everything. Do you find that there's one all-encompassing thing you can do to get baby to go down, or do you think it's more important to figure out the reason first?
You're never guaranteed to find the reason. All you can do is go through your checklist in your mind. So are they hungry? Mm-hmm. Are they in discomfort? Do they need a nappy change, a diaper change?
Right.
Do they need a change of scenery? Is it something that you can fix that's like that? And if all else fails, you literally just have to try things like some skin to skin contact can really help, because that can help regulate their heartbeat, that they feel close to you. And sometimes it is, you just have to hold them and cuddle them.
Right.
Because sometimes you just don't know the answer. So you have to rule out the obvious things.
Right.
And babies can get upset and really, inconsolable when they're overtired. It can happen. So if you're finding that every time trying to get them to go to sleep, they're kind of arching the back and they're crying a lot, then it's worth just trying to get them down a little bit sooner. It could be that they're just too tired at that point.
Right.
On the flip side, it might be trying to get them down to sleep too early and they're just getting a bit frustrated because you're trying to get them to sleep and they're not tired.
Got you.
So,
I see.
Parenting, and certainly with children in the early days, it's a lot of guesswork. We're all winging it to a certain extent. Yeah. So you've just kind of got to get through your checklist of physical things. Do they just need some cuddling and some connection with us? Right. And if none of those things work, get them checked out with a health visitor or your midwife or your healthcare professional, just to make sure that there's no illness or anything going around. But it's worth looking at that Purple Crying website if you've got a baby that does cry a lot. It'll make a lot of sense to you.
That's really helpful. Thanks for sharing that. When it comes to things like figuring stuff out, I'm curious about this question. We have Aline88 asking, I have a 4-week baby who does not settle in his cot, but putting him on his side makes him sleep better. Is the rule of lying on their back very strict? Where are these, when it comes to like really inconsolable babies or really upset babies, where do these strict rules kind of come into effect? What do you have to make sure you're doing? And yeah, things like lying on their back. What's your insight?
Yes, guidelines do state that we're supposed to be on the back to sleep every time for every sleep. And the research says that babies that lie on the front or the sides are at higher risk of sudden infant death syndrome. So yeah, it is really important that we put our babies to sleep on their backs every time. And it is really difficult because babies might sleep better on the front or might sleep better on the side, but it's critical for their safety that you pop them down on their backs for every sleep. That goes from right from newborn up until the time that they're able to roll themselves. So as soon as they're able to roll front to back and back to front, you're able to just let them find their own position to sleep in. But before then, it's really important that we put them down on the back to sleep.
Right. Well, good to know. Yeah.
And I know it's frustrating.
Yeah.
I understand. Really hard, and at 4 weeks you're absolutely shattered. Congratulations, by the way, on your little lovely newborn. And the 4th trimester, this 3-month period after your baby's born, is a really difficult time, especially for sleep, because they don't really know day from night. So you're not really getting good long periods of sleep at night in most cases. The nap essentially 24 hours a day. They've got no circadian rhythm at that point. So it is really tough time for sleep. So if you can, try not to focus too much on trying to get them down in the cot for sleeps at this age, because it is really common that they just need to be near you. It's part of their natural instinct when they're newborn to need to be near you. So things like getting a sling, a baby carrier can be helpful, because you can kind of go about your daily tasks and have two hands free and still have your baby sleeping. That's quite handy. So speaking from experience again. But yeah, it's all about trying to just keep them safe whilst they're sleeping. Just honestly, it's about survival in those first few weeks. So send in positive vibes and virtual coffee to you there, Aline.
Wow, yes,
I know it's
virtual
really tough.
coffee, no kidding. Oh my gosh, 4 weeks. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Holy.
Yeah, it's hard work.
I can only imagine. I mean, it's the toughest job in the world. It really is. My close friend had a lot of trouble getting her baby off her chest. It took months. Yeah, she just did not want to sleep anywhere but her chest. She tried everything. It was really, really tough to get her to go down. She had this beautiful bassinet. She never could use it. But yeah, it took quite a while, and it was frustrating for her. So I can imagine sticking to those really those hard lines when you're trying to help your baby grow to be a human, you know, and a fully fledged adult. How do you navigate those? Oh, thank you, Aline. I'm not sure what happened, guys. Sorry, we just lost Jemma. Hang on. We'll get her back on here. Just give it a mo. I'm not sure if she just lost some connection. Wow, quite amazing, though. Who is surprised to hear some of that? Personally, I didn't know a lot, or really any, you guys. This is the only type of mom that I am. Right now, I'm just a dog mom. And I am very excited to be a mom one day. All you wonderful moms inspire me so much. And I would like to hopefully be a really good mom one day. And maybe, I don't know, maybe this will help me learn some helpful tips. But I guess it's kind of, you just wing it anyways. I don't know. I think we're back with Jemma. Hang on. There she is.
Sorry, honestly.
Oh, please don't worry about it. It's all good. It's all good.
So where did we get to?
It's just your face is just loading up, but I can hear you. Okay, there we go. Guys, thank you for the taps. Don't forget to keep tapping the screen. Show your love. I hope you're enjoying our little chat this morning. We are going to keep moving forward. If you have any questions, drop them in the chat. Yeah, and we are talking baby sleep. Thank you for enjoying our short intermission, and we shall continue. I have some questions. Since we talked a little bit about strict rules, just kind of quick little one-off answers. Any what to do, what not to do before bedtime? Like a really good, you probably shouldn't do that right before bedtime. You know, any of those that might help?
Oh, anything's not to do before bedtime. Okay,
yeah.
Okay, so
or to do. You can do both.
Don't be drinking
we'll
caffeine.
Oh, yeah.
The best things to avoid just before bedtime, things like screens. Okay, so TV, tablets, phones, the blue light screens can really mess around with that sleepy hormone that we produce at bedtime. It's called melatonin, and blue messes that up. So we want to avoid screens really, ideally, if you can. Now, I'm complete realist, okay, and we don't avoid screens in the evening because essentially we need them for sanity. But if your baby is struggling to go to sleep at bedtime, try and put
it could be a helpful thing. But no judgment if you're
so
a screen
because I say not as I
oh, I love that. Much more real.
Absolutely. We do it sat on we not good for us. Things like try and avoid too long a gap before bedtime. So what we really want to do is try and make sure that our children are not going to bed too overtired. What happens when we're overtired is they get a bit dysregulated, they get really grumpy, they get really excitable, they might be running around your house like a crazy kid, and that's because they've got this shot of cortisol that is keeping them awake because they should have gone to sleep before now. And what happens with that overtiredness, it means it's really hard for them to go to sleep. It's important to try and avoid that at the end of the day. And again, this goes back to you understanding what your child needs.
Right.
And awake windows, we talk about awake windows quite a lot, and a lot of sleep kind of work on very set windows in their schedules. And it's really hard to do that because, going back to what we were saying at the start, not all robots, they're all very different. So it's about finding what your tolerance is. Okay. I would avoid things like really having a really noisy, busy, fun play just before bed, because again, that can be quite stimulating for them.
Right.
A lovely thing to do is baby massage. That can be quite relaxing. Definitely dim the lights as well in the evenings, because light and dim light can really help to set our circadian rhythm. So when you get up in the morning, turn all the lights on, open the curtains.
I see. Yeah.
Daylight in system, because that will just help your baby to realize it's daytime. And then at night time, when it's getting towards bedtime, a couple of hours before bed, close the curtains, get the lights dim. Even when you're if you're bathing your baby in the bathroom, it's really bright in there. Yeah, maybe some candles if you can have the candles. They're much better than having those bright bathroom lights on, because light gives energy essentially. So try and keep the lights dim in the evenings. That is a really good tip. And for me, one of the biggest things about having a good routine is building a lot of connection in with your baby at bedtime, especially if they've been to daycare or they've been looked after by somebody while you've been working during the day or whatever. Home, a child who's got a full love cup where you've spent time will be a lot easier than if you've kind of been a bit distracted.
If anyone just caught that little cutout clip, we were just saying it's really good to have one-on-one time and some connection with your baby at the end of the night. What about feeding? Would you say breastfeed right before bed, or however, like formula, whatever mom is doing right before bed?
Yeah. So whatever works. Feeding to sleep is one of the most natural biological ways that babies will fall asleep. And in all honesty, in the first few months, you're going to really struggle not to be to sleep. You know, your baby needs to feed in the evening before they go to bed, because they need to not be hungry. You know, if you're breastfeeding, especially, your breast milk has all those lovely sleepy hormones in that help your baby go to sleep.
Of course.
So I'm very much of the opinion of, if you are happy to feed to sleep, then it's perfectly okay. There will become a point that lots of mums don't want to do that anymore. You know, you don't want to be the only one
that can put the baby down.
So of course, if you are looking to move away from that, you would just do the feed earlier on in the bedtime routine, and then you would expect that you would support your child to fall asleep in another way. So you might need to rock them, or pat the bottom, or do something else.
Slowly integrate more
that will help them fall asleep. So
amazing.
Yeah,
that's lovely.
Absolutely. So I'm not a sleep coach that will tell people that they need to start feeding to sleep unless the parent wants to do that, and it's unrealistic that they're going to be able to do that much after 6 months. Really, it's just very normal and biological for us to do that. So
in many cases, I find it's the only option. I mean, I the first time I ever babysat
if you're happy to do it,
young baby,
don't worry about it. If you want to change it, then change it.
I had to push the stroller and pull the bottle in. I had to hold and push at the same time, because she had to be in the stroller or she would cry. and she had to be feeding or she wouldn't fall asleep. It was just, I was like double time. Oh my gosh, it was hilarious. But hey, she fell right asleep. It was great.
Oh, internet.
I know, right? Oh, can you hear me all right? How are we doing here? Yeah? Not too shabby. Yeah, the internet is getting a little bit rickety, isn't it? Hang on. My router is right beside me. I don't know if it's I am still here. Hello, hello. I'm not sure what's going on. Okay. We just paused for a quick sec. That seems to be a little bit better. Oh, maybe not. I don't know if I can hear you. No. I don't think I can hear you, Jemma. Guys, can you hop into the chat? Let me know. Can you hear me or Jemma?
Work.
I hear you well. Okay.
Mums are the queens of multitasking. These are things that
Mums are queens of multitasking.
Yeah. I've got you.
Yeah, I
think I'm back now.
Idea. I think you're just a little delayed. Jemma, do you want to exit and come back in one more time? Yeah, it's just the network. That's okay. There we go. We'll get Jemma back in just a sec. It is our first live, okay? So bear with us because it's not my fault. No, technology is so hard. Is anyone else struggling a little bit with Zoom and pandemic and Instagram lives and all sorts of internet stuff can be a lot. So bear with us a little bit. Okay, we've got Jemma's coming back. We will get this up and rolling, y'all. Woohoo! Hello!
Honestly, I was walking around the house trying to find a signal.
It's with the phone up like you're in the mountains. Oh, I love that. Okay, well, we're good now. We can hear you now. I'm so sorry for the kerfuffle.
Oh, such a faff with the internet, isn't it?
Oh my gosh, it's such a pain in the ass. Yeah, I do have some more questions for you, if you don't mind me picking your brain. One question that a lot of people have been asking, actually, in particular, I want to word this properly. Baby is sleeping only with me, not alone. What do I do?
Yeah, so this is, again, really normal for children. They want to be near us. It is very normal, but I get it. It is frustrating. We are touched out, aren't we? Especially, I mean, if you're breastfeeding, you've got your baby on you all the time anyway. You know, it is full on, and I hear you. I get this myself all the time. I like my own space enough, you know, too much sometimes. So it is really hard. So mums, I hear you that this can be really frustrating. So firstly, don't worry about that there's anything wrong, because your baby's perfectly normal. That is perfectly normal behaviour. One tip: if your baby's really little and they need to nap quite often, it's really worth getting your hands on a sling, a carrier, and just baby wearing. Just embrace it for a little while. If they're a bit older and they're kind of out of that 4th trimester time, maybe they're 6 months or so, and you want to try and start getting them down in the cot or the Moses basket or wherever, usually the easiest time to get them to do that is either at bedtime and start helping them to learn to fall asleep in the bed at bedtime. Or if you want to try a nap during the day, usually the first nap of the day is the easiest one to get them to do. So just keep practicing, okay? Just keep practicing. Every morning, that first nap of the day, just give it a go. Try and get them in the cot. And what you can do sometimes is kind of settle them in the cot. So get them in your arms, and you might maybe pat the bottom or do some shushing, some sound cues. And then when you pop them in the cot, if they stir and you think they're going to wake up, you can carry on doing that bottom patting and the shushing, and sometimes you can get them back off to sleep in the cot. So that can be a nice little way of doing it. So,
make them feel like they're in the same place.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, and it's just sometimes it's just choosing the point that you put them down. So if your baby wakes up, it is absolutely. So sometimes if your baby's had kind of 5 minutes, 10 minutes sleep in your arms, and then you wake them up when you've put them down, that kind of sleep pressure's gone because they've had a 5 minute or 10 minute nap. So the need to sleep has gone away a little bit because they've had that nap, so they're not as tired. So sometimes it's really hard to get them back to sleep at that point. So if that happens, you might just need to put your baby straight in the cot as soon as they look like they've gone to sleep. And then, yeah, and then you avoid them.
Really like, oh, okay, now I really want to sleep. I see. Actually, that makes a lot of sense. I feel that as an adult. If I'm tired, I'm sleeping right now.
Yeah. So, and if you have even 2 minutes sleep or 5 minutes sleep, you don't feel as tired. Mm-hmm. So, it is hard to get them to go back. So we either put them down really quickly or wait for about 15 minutes until they're in a really deep sleep.
Right.
So you do the arm drop test. They're just like completely dead weight.
So that is the professional expert test, guys. You heard it here. Pick up the arm. If it flops down, pop them in the cot. They're good. That's what I do with my dog sometimes too, with the floppy cot.
Yeah.
Same thing.
I sleep.
Exactly. Oh, that's amazing. Okay, well, that is super helpful. I do have like kind of the ultimate question for you. I know this is a big question and you might not be able to answer it in one sentence, but do you just have like your top tips, like your number one, like just making sure that your baby is getting good sleep? And I think you've said a lot about just not getting frustrated with yourself or anything like that. And it's a lot of these things are really normal. So I think just if you got any like secret hacks, any really good little tips, I think everyone could benefit from that.
Yeah, sure. So things like make sure that they're having enough nap during the day so they're not really overtired at bedtime. So it's a bit difficult to predict in the early days, but around about 6 months they'll be having roughly 3 naps. Between 7 and 9 months they'll probably drop down to having 2 naps. Right. And then by about 14 months, between 14 and 18 months, they'll drop down to having just 1 nap. And you just want to make sure that those naps are spread quite evenly during the day. Okay. And then make sure that last gap between when they wake up from the last nap and bedtime isn't too long, so they're not too tired when they go to bed. Okay. So have an appropriate bedtime.
More sleep. I love that.
Yeah, sometimes that is absolutely the case. Better naps and well-timed naps, enough sleep in the day will make them sleep better at night. Because when we're tired, our sleep is really disrupted. So that is a really good thing to look at. And just things like making sure that you've just got good sleep hygiene. So things like dimming the lights in the evening, making sure you've got bright lights during the day, have a really lovely, consistent bedtime routine. All those sorts of things will just really set good foundations for helping your baby to sleep through, which is the ultimate goal, isn't it, for most parents?
Oh God, I think so. That sounds like the first really big win.
It is definitely, and realistically, like understanding how what the likelihood is for that for most children. Most children will still be waking up in the night at some point up until about 18 months. So 85% of babies wake in the night, even up to 18 months. So we've always told that by 6 months they should be sleeping through. So that's not always practical. You're not necessarily going to have them waking every night for 18 months, but consistently sleeping through the night really comes after 1 usually, I would say. You're really lucky if you nail it before then. You've got a great routine and a nice unicorn baby.
Wow. Unicorn baby, I love that.
Absolutely.
Wow, those are so helpful. I mean, I find it really inspiring just to hear that, you don't have to necessarily follow this really strict and perfect routine. And it really just comes down to like listening to your baby, listening to yourself, listening to, the environment and doing what you think is best in the moment.
And I would say that hold on to that through your entire parenting journey. There is so much information out there, so much white noise about sleep, about what you should do, shouldn't do. and quite frankly, if you're happy with what's going on, don't feel the need to change it just because somebody says you should. You know, you genuinely know your child the best, and you should really trust your instincts about it. But, you know, if you do need help, get in touch with someone like me. Yeah. You know, we're here to offer advice. You know, there's plenty of sleep consultants that will support you. I'm always happy to answer questions. Love doing lives and things like this. So it's, you know, it's just empowering people with understanding how sleep works so you can figure it out.
Now, I can imagine you didn't just wake up and become this amazing, self-compassionate mom. I mean, it had to have taken so much work. And how did you get to this point?
Well, I often don't think I'm the best mum.
Oh.
And sometimes, you know what, it's actually a bit more pressure knowing all the stuff I know.
Right.
I struggled with Holly's sleep. My daughter, she's nearly 2. I have really found it difficult. Do you know what age she slept through the night for the first time?
1.5.
14 months.
Oh my gosh.
So that is a professional sleep coach, experienced sleep coach, you know, lots about sleep. And my daughter didn't sleep through for the first time until she was 14 months. So what does that tell you? You're not in control. You know, you can just do your best. All you can do is your best.
Yeah. Wow, that's so inspiring. I love that. Thank you for being so honest. It's so awesome. I mean, yeah, it just goes to show. I mean, babies need what they need. And the more you talk about it, the more I start to realize how many similar qualities we even have in ourselves. And if you're growing this beautiful little tiny creature and raising them to be an adult human being, why wouldn't you think of them in the same way you think of yourselves? Like, yeah, you get tired, and yeah, we get grumpy. And if somebody tries to stick me in bed and put me down and not let me get up, and I'm like, I'm not tired, I was a little pissed. So I love that you're just really encouraging moms to look at their babies as just as they are, humans learning about the world.
Yeah, and accept them for their personalities. You know, not all babies are easy, and it doesn't mean that they're bad or they're naughty. None of what they do is intentional. They don't have wants; they only have needs. And especially in the early days, we are here to support those needs no matter what. And it's really worth remembering that babies are not manipulative. They're not crying because they say, oh, well, if I cry, then this will happen. They're crying because they just need us. And sometimes just accepting that and, you know, going with that sometimes is easier than fighting it and trying to change things. That's certainly how it helped me in the early days anyway.
Wow.
You know, I kind of told myself that, you know, we will probably have to get up tonight in the middle of the night and feed Holly or feed Max. And just trying to accept that this is how it is for a little while. And a lot of it is about looking after yourself.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, it's a radical acceptance and just accepting the situation and being okay.
And if you're doing everything you can that's within your energy and within your power at this moment, that's all you can tell yourself, isn't it? You're doing everything you can. Yeah. And
it's the hardest job ever, for goodness sake.
Brilliant. And we don't get paid for it either.
Yeah, you're like an intern at the worst office. Oh my God, with a really mean boss who cries all the time and will not leave alone. Oh my gosh, that is amazing. It has been such a pleasure to chat with you. I know that I don't know a lot and I feel really knowledgeable. So I'm sure, I can only imagine all the moms here. Guys, show some comments, show some loves, like a virtual round of applause for Jemma. This was so amazing. Thank you for sharing. Now, to find you everywhere, blistedoutbabies.co.uk is your website, correct? And if anybody needed your assistance, your help, your guidance, they can just reach out to you, or what's the best way to contact you?
Absolutely. So you can, if you need to have a consultation, I do free 15-minute consultation. So literally just to catch up. If I can give you an answer that will solve all your problems, I will, and I won't charge you. But those calls are really handy to find out what approach we might take. So I do one-to-one consultations, group consultations, and I've got an online on-demand course that you can purchase as well, that you can just work through at your own pace. The DNA sleep. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing. Everybody, you have to go check it out. We will post all of the info to make sure you can find Jemma on our page. So don't forget to check everything out. Jemma, it has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for coming on here and chatting and hanging out with us. Don't forget.
It's been fun.
This was so much fun. Oh my gosh.
Problems aside.
Yeah, and I feel excited about my future mom duties. I feel like I'm not going to be as judgmental towards myself just because of the conversation.
Definitely. Honestly, you've got it. You can do it. And it is, the days are really tough sometimes, but just keep going is all I would say. Just keep going. You're doing an amazing job. Being a mum is really tough. Okay. But if you need me, I'm really happy to talk anytime. So please just get in touch.
That is so beautiful. Okay. Wow. That just made my whole day. You guys, make sure to go follow Jemma at, I want to make sure I get your username right. It is, say your username for me.
Blissed Out Babies.
Blissed out. Oh, that is like such a good description. Hey, babies.
Hopefully that's how they are after working with me.
Exactly. Yes. You guys will be back with another expert next Thursday. Thank you again, Jemma. This was so much fun. Once again, I'm
Thanks so
Jemma.
much.
Follow Jemma. Follow
soon.
Crawoo. We'll see you guys soon.
Take care. Bye.